I can't run a marathon yet, but I can run and walk one. People who can run entire marathons work very, very hard for that and train for many, many months. I had about 2.5 months of training. So I'm gonna do run and walk intervals, which I know. When I first started running, for some reason I thought you just weren't allowed to walk in marathons at all. I thought if you started walking, they'd be like, oh, he's not running, and then they'd, I don't know, take you out. And since I am still a beginner and this is my first marathon, I had 3 goals. Make it to the end, not get injured, don't hate it. I wanted to want to do another one. Which the not hate it part was a little questionable. The training was honestly fine. I had a great time during training. I vlogged the whole thing, loved it. The week before the actual race, it felt like that everything was going wrong. Hey, I'm sick. But yeah, we are now less than 48 hours from my marathon. I've had a nice sore throat for a few days. Really solid. Extremely unlucky. I've spent this entire year so far either sick or injured. I'm on a pretty good streak. Hopefully that ends soon. Yesterday, I had to accept the fact that there is a possibility that I get worse and get more sick and can't run my marathon. I handled that realization pretty well yesterday, I think. Today, I feel a little bit better. I did have a nice NyQuil sleep, even though my Garmin says I slept horrible. I thought it was pretty good. But I'm feeling pretty alright right now. I almost have a fear that I will get to run it, because I'm also extremely nervous. If you're wondering how nervous I am, I had a nightmare last night that I didn't make it through the marathon. And the scary part was having to go to work and tell my coworkers that I didn't do it after hyping it up for 6 months. So, what we're doing today, eating a lot of carbs and laying around, resting, eat, sleep, eat, sleep, eat, sleep. Easy, right? Let's go.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great.
I don't feel bad, but I also don't feel good. Think about that.
I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute. I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning. I asked my manager if I could work remote the whole week so I could be at home and like rest more, all this stuff, all this effort to feel good. The night before, I just got nervous and couldn't sleep. Open here. I slept like an hour and a half, like actually just 0 REM. I woke up and my body battery was a 9. And I was like, okay, well, let's go run a marathon. And the 1 hour of sleep did have me like on the verge of crashing out. Like it was 3 a.m. I was trying to eat my toast, couldn't eat it. My stomach was like, what the hell are we doing? Andrew was practicing his tennis swing in the kitchen at 3 a.m. And I was trying to figure out if I should still go do this. This was the Mesa marathon in Arizona, and this is one of those marathons where you got to get there at like 4 a.m. so you can take the hot, steamy bus ride over for like an hour to your drop-off point in the middle of nowhere. And once we got to the middle of nowhere, where it was just nice and dark, nothing but porta potties and a DJ, I was standing there like, how did I get in this position right now? The music was like blasting and everyone around me was hype, and I was like, I didn't sleep. I couldn't poop this morning. I don't feel ready. And on top of that, my luck, we were one of the first buses there, and there's about like 250 porta potties. The one that I picked out of all of those was already the victim of someone's just absolute stinkiest poop ever. And I was like, okay, this. When we got in line, we were getting ready to go, I was like, okay, you know what? The sunrise is going to be pretty, you know, over the mountains and stuff. I started talking to people around me and I was like, this will be a good time. And we started and I was like, yeah, we're going to go for it. It's going to be fine. I'm going to enjoy it. It'll be a good time.
Do not get injured. Do not fall down.
I hit the wall at mile 5. There was an incline, a hill there, like early in the race from like miles 4 to 7. I remember there being a sign that said, "This hill is your bitch." And I was like, it is not. I called my mom and I was like, I just need to talk for a little bit. And I think I talked to my mom all the way up the hill. I just, just needed to hear a voice to help me get over this. I made it to about mile 7, and at that point I was starting to think about how I was gonna have to make a YouTube video about how I failed my marathon, because I've been vlogging and hyping it up for months, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to let the people know that I didn't do it. And I was starting to brainstorm. I was like, I need some clickbait thumbnail. I gotta like take a picture of me on the floor or something. I was like thinking it up. Luckily, I was in my head so long just thinking about how I wasn't gonna make it. I just thought about that for about 7 more miles. I was still doing the run walk intervals. I was doing run a minute, walk a minute, which was getting me through. I was eating plenty of goo gels, which were not settling well in my empty stomach, but if I didn't have them, I'd probably just pass out. So the whole middle of the race, it was like I was taking every bathroom break just for a chance to sit down. I eventually had to stop because it was getting harder to stand back up after I did sit down. My heart rate was like a constant like 170 to like 180 every time I ran. So I would run, my heart rate would go like, and then I'd have to walk again to bring it down, and it would come down so slow. It would like touch like 155, and I'd be like, okay, we gotta go, our minute's up. I'm gonna get my ass kicked. I looked at some of the text I sent during this time. I just said, this is a tough one. Also, this marathon was in February, but because it's in Arizona, it was hot. I was sweating so much, and I wore a long sleeve, and at one of the aid stations, I saw sunscreen, and I was like, whoa, shirts off, sunscreen, we're good. Also, I did put on sunscreen too fast, which has resulted in a really nice sunburn. At like mile 19, I was really starting to crash, so I decided to fall back to the 6-hour pacer. She might have been the only reason I made it to the end. Like when I got to her, it's just whatever energy she had about her. Miles like 19 to 26 were the easiest of the entire race, which is weird. But this pacer, her name was Sarah. This was like her like 117th marathon or something. Sarah, if you are watching this for some reason right now, you might have changed my life a little bit. You are the reason that I want to do another, for sure. But yeah, no one's ever said this about a marathon. But for me, the last 6 miles were the easiest. My heart rate dropped to like 140 after fighting it at like 170 to 180 the whole way. I don't know. She had me smiling at the end, and I made it. And somehow, I made it to the end, and I finished my first marathon. Also, when I was running to the finish line, they had a bunch of photographers, and I was trying really hard not to cry, and I'm pretty sure I was just running like the whole way. So that is how I finished my first marathon. Thank you, Sarah. This medal I'm wearing in honor of the guy who commented on my video like 4 weeks ago and was like, you're not gonna make it. I made it. I was slow, but I made it. Also, I haven't told anyone really that I vlog. And my brother ran this marathon with me. And if I link his Strava below, can you guys give him kudos on this marathon? I think it'll be really funny because he'll be like, where are these people coming from? He saw like the kudos I was getting on my run, and he was like, how are you getting so many kudos? And I was like, I don't know. So if you guys could give him kudos, I think it'd be really funny and I would appreciate it. Thank you. So now what? We met my 3 goals for this marathon. I made it to the end. I didn't get injured, and I want to do another. So I have a lot of other things that I would like to achieve now, including another marathon, which I may have already registered for, if you would like a hint. That wasn't a hint, I just told you. But yes, somehow I got very, very lucky, and I will be running Chicago in October. And my goal for Chicago is to run a marathon, which does mean I'm gonna have to train in the summer months of Arizona, which means I need to get a treadmill. I do have a lot of other goals that I'll be working on before then. One of them is I wanna get fast. I am pretty slow, And I want to try to train for like a fast 5K, like, you know, shorter distance, try to get fast. That's like a more short-term goal that I'll be working on first. I want to try getting faster. I also have been really into playing tennis. I started playing a few months ago and I started taking lessons, and I want to get good at tennis because it's so fun. I'm still working on my splits progress. If you've seen my shorts on that, I'm almost there. That's one of my goals for this year too. And I need to get back on my weight loss journey. If you were here since I started my marathon training, I was also starting my weight loss journey, which I was at like 165 pounds and my goal was 145. I'm at about 150 right now. I kind of had to stop. As the marathon was getting closer, I was like, I probably shouldn't be in a calorie deficit when I run a marathon. But now I can get back to it. I'm like 5-ish pounds away from my goal. Maybe I'll keep going if I want more when I get there, but I can get back to that now. There's so many things to do. I'm so excited. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for 1,000 subscribers recently. In my last vlog, I was excited about a video hitting 1,000 views. That video is at 15,000 views now. That's crazy. And now I'm excited about 1,000 subscribers. So thank you so much. Let me know if you have any advice, anything you want to see, any of that, and I will see you in the next video.